with regard to the EPBC Act. There's been no cross-discussion about other legislation. What we have is a series of amendments will receive support where they are consistent with the policy that we took to the election. Where they're not consistent, we won't vote for it. We made our position very clear. There will be some amendments passed in the House of Representatives that are sensible, that are consistent with our position, but we also said the whole way through, the idea that you just come up with a debate about what figure's higher is something that we weren't going to engage with, because once you do that, you move away from what we did. And what we did prior to the December announcement last year was work out good policy first and then get Reputex to model what the outcome would be.
Prime Minister.
You've not been a big fan of the Greens over the years in your political...
I'm glad you've noticed. Phil?
Do you give Mr Bandt any credit for being prepared in this occasion to put the good before the perfect and actually compromise, drop any of his demands, unlike...
I give everyone who's prepared to vote for moving forward, even though it's not everything that they would want, credit for doing so. The crossbenchers, the independents, Mr Bandt, others have been prepared to, very clearly, as Mr Bandt's made clear, not get everything that he wants, not get a whole lot of things that they want. But we were very clear, and I think this was helped also by the fact that we signed the NDC. We made it clear that that was our position. We could live with the legislation being passed or not being passed. What the legislation being passed does, though, is to lock in, as we said clearly, this is a floor, not a ceiling, so we lock in progress, and that's important. Chris?
No, that's right. Of course, we've had good conversations across the parliament with people of goodwill. As we kept saying, if people want to work with the government in goodwill, in good faith, we would do the same. Some people have made themselves irrelevant to that process. Some people have completely ruled themselves out of any discussions with the government. That's up to them. Others, on the crossbench, have factored themselves into the conversation, as the Prime Minister has said, and has been very public, where there were suggestions which could clarify, make explicit, improve the bill in keeping with our mandate, all theirs. Any suggestions not in keeping with that mandate, not considered.
Will you, though, be open to negotiating a climate trigger, particularly within the EPBC Act, considering the Greens and David Pocock in the Senate have already mentioned that they really want to see that happen?
We're dealing with today's legislation. It's pretty significant. The parliament is about to, after a decade of inaction and denial and delay, move forward. Now, the coalition have chosen once again to engage. It's quite bizarre. They seem obsessed by nuclear reactors but are ignoring the biggest nuclear reactor of all. It's up there, the sun. Solar power they're ignoring. They're ignoring the future. They're stuck in the past. They're frozen in time while the world warms around them. We will not be held hostage to that behaviour. We'll continue to advance our agenda. And what I have said is that Australians have conflict fatigue. They want people of goodwill to work together. We will be working together on implementing the agenda to which we were elected.